Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero reaction. Today we have a request from Fat Froggo in the comments of last video. This is Safety Exit. Apparently they're surprised that nobody has been requesting this one, and a lot of people apparently agree, which also makes me question if it had this much attention in the likes, why hasn't somebody requested it before? Very strange circumstance there, but I'm going to be listening to it today and hearing what it's all about, so without further ado, let's go! Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, I hear the texture of the double bass. Oh, that's sick. I wonder if they actually got somebody to record that then. I'm kind of used to them using samples. I wasn't expecting that. Or they just manually added in the, like, texture of that. The palm kind of hitting the double bass is really hard to, like, fake, so... Double time that swing. Oh, that feels great. Having those like bumped measures there. Just nice accents. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. You cheeky little... Okay. I gotta reconfigure my brain. Shift it right into electro swing. That's an awesome transition too. Going from a standing bass, which is very pluck, and then having a bunch of plucks in a standard bass. It just feels so good. Switching those up to triplets was sick. Still love that. That's an awesome bass part. And again, I love that transition from like going from the double bass to the electric bass and keeping the technique very similar. And oh, what a great choice. They could have changed that, but they didn't. And that makes the whole song feel that much more cohesive. Really good work. So definitely a little cheeky. I was not anticipating that shift in tone at all. I thought we were going to be listening to just a smooth swing jazz vibe the whole time. And I was here for it. I love jazz. It's one of my core things on the kit. It's kind of where I got started. I love jazz as much as I do any other genre. I do love me some electronic, as we all know from prior videos, but jazz has a very like significant core of my being on lock. So I really appreciated hearing this, and then switching it into electro swing was just perfect. I did not think they were going to do that. I was just expecting it to be vibes all the way through, and it still definitely was. Just that transition was so clean. It threw me off a little bit, but that's more just the shock of it, you know? Like, everything they did, transitioning from that swing jazz feel to the electro swing, and everything they adjusted to make that transition feel that much more natural was perfect. Of course, I've gone off about the bass thing a few times, but everything in here was really well done. on. I like that in the first section, they didn't just have like a normal drum kit, they also had some other sampling kind of underneath it. I thought that's all we were going to get for any sort of electronic stuff, as well as some obvious sampling of like, you know, sample packs of horns and whatever else. You could definitely tell. You can tell when it's not real horns if you listen close enough. And I was like, that's fine. Like I said, I was surprised that I was hearing like the texture of the palm hitting the double bass. I was like, oh, they actually probably got somebody to record that, which is awesome because again, I'm so used to hearing electronic out of this that I don't really anticipate those sorts of things being added, but I love that they did that. And again, if they did end up using a sample of a bass and just used a DAW and a VST to get that sound of the double bass, and then they meticulously rebuilt the feel of that texture of somebody playing, having that organic energy in there, was a perfect match. Some of those things, like where the slapping was happening, I know is very real. At very least, it's placed in the exact spot. So if they did build all that up from nothing, they really paid attention to those specific sounds that happen during certain forms of play of the double bass. But that makes me feel even more that they just got somebody who plays double bass and recorded it, because those things are very difficult to get right unless you're really, really trying. So it's kind of hard to call, but I'm going to assume for the benefit of the doubt here that they actually did have somebody record that, which just adds that much more to the song. I love it when they include real recordings of real musicians in with sampled stuff, because I'm not against samples by any means. But what I do love is when you have somebody who knows their instrument be a part of the production, so they can have that texture in there, that hand, that organic sense that feels and fits so well into the recipe of the song. It is a perfect piece here. That always results in a perfect meld of everything working together, and it just kind of like a glue. You get organic stuff, you get electronic stuff, you smash them together, and if they're used at a safe balance and they're not stepping on each other's toes, then you get this sock hop worthy jam that we got. And of course, if you don't know what a sock hop is, just look it up. I already feel old enough saying that word. Anyway, there were other elements that I liked that they adapted and brought in from that first section into the electronic section. Some of them were a little bit more normal and natural, like the piano just kind of bumped up, but it was pretty much there the whole time. A piano can kind of work in any genre, so that's not really a surprise. You don't need to change it to something else. You don't need to adapt it for like a lead synth or something, albeit they kind of did that a little bit by using some other supportive synths in the second half that they took from that piano part in the first one. And then again, the horns kind of just naturally slid in there. You did have some of that organic texture, but that kind of went to the wayside as the other electronic elements came in. And I don't know if that was intentional or if it's just a byproduct of how they structured the song, kind of making the second half feel a little bit more fake, or I suppose just sterile is probably a better word for it. There's just a texture that you get with a real horn section that you don't get with an electronic one, like I mentioned, but at the same time, you kind of lose that even if you use horns to support an organic set of horns, or you have a different library you use that's a little bit more focused to that vintage feel. You then lose that if you use it in an electronic piece. It's just something that the ear does. Your brain just kind of overwrites, oh, I'm hearing a real instrument, and you expect to hear samples, so your brain kind of gets rid of that extra data that would otherwise be there. It's a very interesting thing there. There's a lot of psychology in music that forces that upon us, but it still sounds great. I've got nothing against that. They did a perfect job transitioning all of it, and I was just bringing that up for the sake of it being an interesting thing rather than something that's worthy of critique in this specific song. But I think I have yapped enough, so thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you for requesting this one. For those who haven't heard me get to songs like this genre, and didn't know maybe that I even liked this sort of thing, I do. I love every genre just because I really love the sound of Zenless Zone Zero's main tracks. Like their whole OST has so much variety already just in the electronic space. That doesn't mean I don't love all these other things. So when this showed up and then that surprise blend hit me, I was like, oh, it's like the marriage of my two worlds. I love it. And I want more of that. So if there's anything else in here that's not just electronic stuff that they have, but by all means, continue to request those. Throw them at me though. Anything, any genre that may be in here. I love music as a whole. I'm one of those I listen to everything guys, and I mean it, everything. I love all genres. I can always find something to think about or talk about or describe to somebody else if they don't get it. It's just part of my enjoyment of music. So if you have something that you might think is a little weird or I might not like, try me. I'll at least have something to say about it. So if you do have any of those, leave them in the comments below. But if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!